Hello, just want to talk a little bit about how to complete the post-lab assignment for this exothermic endothermic lab that we did in class on Wednesday. So when you come into the lab folder, the lab handout is kind of the start of this. So when we come to the lab handout, we saw all the guidance, all the background information about how all this stuff kind of works. And then if you come down to the bottom, way bottom, last page, see page 4 out of 4, way down at the bottom, can't go any further. You'll see post-lab. It's telling you need to complete these assignments. There are two parts to this post-lab. So the post-lab questions and conclusion. There won't always be two. Sometimes there'll always at least be questions. Not every lab has like a conclusion to make. And so the post-lab here, so you have 3 questions. You need to answer all 3 of these and write a conclusion. I'll say right now, they will be a little bit redundant. The purpose of these questions on this first lab is kind of some of these questions are trying to get you to think about things that need to show up in this conclusion. So, you know, kind of like, is it exothermic or endothermic? That's going to come up in the conclusion as well. That's the title of the lab. That's the important idea. So if we come back into the folder, we have those questions to answer. We give our answers down in the bottom here. So this post-lab assignment, you can see it says that it is due on the 16th, Sunday. So if we click in here, this is a journal. It's just the type of page within Blackboard. This looks like, if you've done the participation yet, this looks like what the participation is. When you click in here, you will have to give it a title, but it can be whatever you want. And the sky's the limit, be as creative as you want or as boring, whatever, it doesn't matter. But you need a title. And then you can type your answer here. So you can type like 1, yes, 2, no, whatever it is. And then you can write the conclusion here. It's also popular, people, if you want to type it up in Word or write, some people like to write by hand and then upload a file, that's fine. Again, Blackboard is pretty unforgiving when it comes to unsaved work. You can save entry as a draft. If you post the entry, unfortunately with journals, it's like if you post the entry, it'll post. And so then you can't change it. So some people post, you know, like one post of the questions and then another post of the conclusion. That's fine, because when I, as the instructor, go to grade it, all of this is just given. And so I can just read it all. So you find the questions here, you find the prompt here for the conclusion, and you type them in this post-lab assignment. The final thing I want to point out is the rubric. So I forgot to add this previously, sorry, but that's why I'm sending this out. There is a rubric. You'll note there's this little button with like the grid here. I will use this to grade this post-lab. And so if you click here, it's going to open up a new window. So for the purpose of my video, I got to do some, go out of that and then go into the rubric window. It's not a normal size, so it's going to take a little bit of time. There we go. So if you come in here and look, this is the rubric. And so you'll note things are labeled as like a conclusion, the experimental objective, conclusion, 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 and then post-lab questions. So you'll saw in the handout, it told you how many points each was worth. So this was worth 2. The questions were worth 2, 4, 4. And so that's the points for the post-lab, for the questions, sorry. So in the conclusion, it'll be worth 10. It's 20 points total. And these are the ideas of what I'm looking for in the conclusion. So there are 4 basic parts to every conclusion. Basically, the objective. What was the point of the lab? That's like the experimental result we were trying to get, not necessarily what we were trying to learn in the lab, right? Like using equipment. But what was the actual chemistry result we were trying to get? What is the result that we measured? What conclusion can we draw? Where did we potentially go wrong, or how could we get better? And then, did you write this as like a coherent paragraph? There's some portion of the grade that's based around writing. And so I will grade based on this. So basically the idea here is like, I only really wrote something up for like the full, this is like what I'm looking for. Did you talk about errors? This would be like what would be in a perfect conclusion, if you will. So this is blank now. Once I grade it, there will be, instead of these just being, these are buttons when, as the instructor, I look at this and I will click the button, you get 1 point here or 2 points here, whatever it is. And then I'll put comments that'll show up at the bottom. They're not here yet. But when you actually get it, it'll be graded using this rubric. So I close that, and then I go back into here. A little bit of lag. But so So when you get your grade, the grade will show up here and there'll be comments and stuff. You'll be able to click again to see the rubric, and it'll also show up in the My Grade. So that will do it for the post lab. If you have any questions about how to do the post lab, find the questions up here. You can also click, your notebook is still there. You can go click into your notebook, see the results, which will be useful. It might be a good idea to reference those results in your post lab. If you have any questions about how to complete the post lab or any of the content, anything like that about what we did, please don't hesitate to reach out. Otherwise, good luck on the post lab and have a great weekend.